What's up, y'all? Hope y'all doing well. We are back on Need for Speed World. Now we on a race with the 240. We'll see how this goes. You know, this car is not maxed out. I think in this race, it's only at a 450 something, I think. But even then, I only have this thing on race parts because of the fact that we are still starting out. And in terms of start, and what I mean by starting out is like at this rate, we just really can't be spending so much money on one car with some nicer parts, or really just using my inventory parts on cars like this, in my opinion, because I really just don't value it. So this thing is actually at 470 something now. I'm not gonna lie, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's the steering is, pretty. It's a difficult car to drive, especially on keyboard. I can imagine on controller, it's a little more manageable. However, it's really once you start turning in, the car just loves to just turn in, oversteer, and it's a mess when you try to correct it. I don't know what happened to the Audi over there. I'm pretty sure that RS4 is a highway type of car, which is perfect for this. Like, this car should not be here at all. And this is what I was talking to steering. It's just difficult, man. It's a difficult car to drive. Now, as I'm recording this, man, I have not played World in a while. And actually, in the meantime, the next video you'll see of me playing World, you'll see that I'll have a lot more cars because the holidays, there were the WUG devs gave out some cars. I was able to get that CLK. Yeah, we got a nice little garage, and like I was talking about, the RS4, it's a highway beast, and look how he was so far behind and he caught up. But man, he messed up the corner hard. This is like a tortoise and hare type of race right here. Yeah. That is nuts, man. We got the R35. Man, speaking of R35, I know this is off topic, but I've been playing Tokyo Extreme Racer. Great game. I really hope as time goes on, the R35 is in the game. And I don't know, it just, it's the fact that the R35 is no longer being made. It really is the end of an era where you can kind of see a car that was revolutionary, and now it's just there, It's just a car that overstayed its welcome. And it's really crazy how the R35, when it first came out, it was like this really technologically advanced car. People called it like a robot on wheels. Like, basically, people be posting stuff like, oh, it's not a driver's car because the computer does it for you and all that stuff. And by the time it was the end of its production, it was nothing special. It was just kind of an overpriced car for how old it is. But despite that, the performance was still great. Now, it wasn't. I remember when this car first came out, it was insane, especially on the drag strip. Like, a car, once they got that facelift in 2012, I think, when the 0 to 60 was under 3 seconds. Man, it's now like a 2.9 second 0 to 60. Now there's a lot of cars that do that now. It's still really fast, by the way, but for example, the Model 3 Performance, even though it's an EV, that can still do 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds, for example. So it's actually a lot more attainable than it was then. But man, this car just gives so much nostalgia, and the fact that it's no longer here just is insane. It really set a standard, I feel, for the way supercars and sports cars came to be. Now I upgraded my RSX to a D class, And the perfect thing we should do is obviously take this thing on Teamscape, because that's clearly what it's made for. And speaking of RSX, there's that new RSX that came out. Essentially, it's just an SUV, and Acura was probably like, all right, let's go through our trademarks that we already own. Or did they renew the trademark of that thing? But I don't know what they were thinking. They probably saw the RSX, and like whoever was behind the naming of that was like, all right, RSX, you know, like ZDX, you know, MDX, like, you know, they have a three-letter thing, so they're like, okay, let's just use RSX. Stir up some, because the fact it's a familiar name, you know, stir up some talk about it, because I'm pretty sure it's just an all-new vehicle. And now it's a different car. It's like the Ford Maverick, for example. You know, the Ford Maverick is a pickup truck. But, you know, the Ford Maverick I know is that one from the 70s. It's like a coupe, I'm pretty sure. But the difference is that the Maverick is actually a sought-after small pickup truck. Whereas the RSX, man, let me tell you about the ZDX, man. The ZDX, I've seen maybe like 2-3 of them, and they are just, why? Like, I'm just thinking this is like, why would you buy that, man? Like, they're not cheap at all. In fact, pretty sure for the same price you can get, like, you know, a high spec MDX or, you know, anything similar. But obviously that might be a little unfair, because a person who buys a ZDX is probably different than a person who probably buys an MDX. That being said, man, the ZDX, like, what a missed opportunity. I remember the original ZDX. Well, I don't know what the original ZDX is. The ZDX I'm talking about is from the 2010s, that coupe crossover thing. I don't like those things at all, except the first gen X6. Like, I don't know what about that first gen X6. I actually kind of like it. However, the rest of them, absolutely not. Even that, what is it, the Cayenne? The Cayenne has the coupe, quote-unquote coupe. All the coupe is just, you just hack off the back to give you less space. Like, I don't know who thought of the idea, but they sell, and especially in the States, there are a lot of those around, like, where I'm from, like GLCs, X4s, X6s, even the Audi one. Oh, the Audi one is so ugly. It is so terrible. But yeah, that's a ZDX I know. So ZDXs are in general, they're kind of like pretty much bust. So I don't know why Acura would try to bring that name back. And it's actually kind of funny I'm talking about Acura, because we got an Integra over here. I feel like this is just going to be just a rant about the automotive industry at this point. But in terms of, yeah, the Teamscape, it was pretty chill. Didn't have much trouble. To be fair, I had good teammates helping me out right there with their Hummers and Raptors, protecting me along the way. Now we got this race with the Integra. Man, the Integra, I only got this car for the achievement. It's so unremarkable, which is crazy, because the fact that, like I said before, this car literally could have been a nice, fun little nippy car. You know, it has go-kart like steering, but it just doesn't. And especially when you're at lower classes, if you're not a top speed monster, or if you're not a go-kart, you're just not good. Like, the car is pretty trash. And what I mean by trash is that, in my opinion, it's not that enjoyable to drive. Like, for example, the NC Miata, that's a E-Class car as well. That car, even though it's slow, it has that nice little nimble handling. So, you know, it's alright. But this car, This is just so unremarkable. I literally only got this card to get that achievement, and guess what? Now, I don't even care. I don't even care about getting that Vortex Integra, but we're at a point now where I don't really have to use this card much, and I basically use it because it's my only E-Class card at the moment. Or do I have more? I actually have no idea, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not too sure, but the Acura Integra. Actually, yeah, I do have another E-Class car. I got this Punto. And like I said, I think in my last video, the Punto, this car was actually a leaderboard runner for not this week's, but the week I did this race in. It was a time attack. And this car was actually a meta car. Now, it's a meta car. One, if you have the right tune. Tune does make a huge difference. Although, if you're a good enough driver, you can kind of get away with it. And another thing, too, is the perfect start. So I was still trying to grind up on getting that RX-8, which another car eventually I did get. However, I never claimed the achievement yet, so next episode you'll see me claiming the car. Another thing I gotta say with this car is that this car is the best OEM wheels in this game. This and the Firebird. I think they have the best stock wheels that I don't even change them because they just look really good with them. And I kind of wish that I can just put these wheels on other cars. Even the Firebird too, because they just got like it's nice spokes, like they're nice, they're really good. I feel like it's really high quality. But it sucks to see that this car is just an E-Class car, so it's not like I'm gonna be seeing much of it. Oh, Punto. I think this car should have been in Need for Speed Carbon as well. And speaking of Need for Speed Carbon, I really got to check out Carbon Online. Man, a lot changes within a month. And I didn't even realize that I do DNF. Back again with this Integra. Man. Let's just get this race over with. So we got the Integra versus two Megans. I was racing these dudes again and again. I was actually trying to use them to see if I can get an achievement with the the racing streak, but dudes leave after a while. After if you dominate a little too much, people start to leave. So it makes sense because man, it's like the Megans are in my distance, and I don't know what happens, but you'll see at the end of the race. I'm so confused after so many attempts why those two dudes keep doing this. Because it essentially just ruins everything. Like right now, they could catch up to me by spamming NOS, Traffic Magnet, Slingshot. But doing this, I think I raced a good 4 or 5 times, and they still keep managing to not break and fly into the wall. I'm very confused. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Take care, y'all. Peace.